Hello and welcome to Sibos 2025 in Frankfurt. I'm Hannah Wallace, and joining us in the FinextraTV Studio is Magnus Haglind, Head of Capital Markets Technology at Nasdaq. Magnus, thank you very much for stepping away from Sibos to come and speak with us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
And what an exciting Sibos it is for you as well. It's your first one in your new role, Head of Capital Markets Technology at Nasdaq. And there have been some very exciting announcements around tokenized security, integrating blockchain technology, which puts you in a great position to shed some light on where we're up to with digital assets and how that's having an impact on financial institutions.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So I have the opportunity to head our solutions and services for financial market infrastructure, so exchanges, CCPs and CSDs, plus the banking software Calypso, which is a front-to-back treasury, capital management, collateral management platform. So I have an opportunity to meet many different participants of the broader ecosystem. And certainly digital asset is, I would say, top of mind almost as with many firms. So, and I think during the last 10 years, we've been through numerous POCs and iterations and phases of exploring how DLT or blockchain technology could certainly help both from an operational standpoint, but also drive new asset classes to the market. But in most cases, it turned out that the current, I would say, infrastructure in place has been sufficient or has been better or cheaper to continue to run. But I would say during the last just 12 to 18 months, we've seen completely new business requirements popping up. As you've seen, it's settlement acceleration, it's 24/5 markets, and it's introduction of crypto. And all that is now fundamentally changing the requirements on infrastructure, and suddenly the ability to use ledgers across multiple participants, tokenize, fractionize, is starting to make a lot of sense.
Well, thank you very much for bringing us up to date. Some really significant changes there. So where do partnerships fit in there? Industry partnerships, what's the value of those in the wider financial ecosystem as well?
Yeah, partnership is super important because as an industry, we are interconnected in the ecosystem, and innovation and adoption needs to happen in a way synchronized in a way. So I think partnerships can help with both those dimensions, both on adoptions and innovation. And we have a big community both on the bank's broker side and on the FMI side. So we also see an opportunity to innovate on behalf of industry. And therefore, we took a big step a while ago to announce a partnership with AWS, and that is to drive innovation. So basically, we're working with AWS in order to, you can say, innovate and define the solutions that the broader industry can use. And it's a lot of learnings that we are gaining through that we then can bring, so you don't, if you go down a similar path, you don't have then to innovate yourself. You can basically learn and share based on what we already have kind of experienced.
So partnerships are obviously key to innovating. And I also want to touch on the shift that we're seeing towards the cloud-hosted managed service operating models. It's a really interesting shift, but what's driving it, and what does this mean from a recovery and resilience perspective as well?
Yeah, no, it's a big shift happening, and I think it's a number of mega trends, but certainly data and AI are important drivers for that. And how do you bring siloed data sources together in order to start to do more informative decisions? And there is no better infrastructure for that than cloud. And then second, we go back to 24/5 and 24/7 even, where suddenly an always-on mentality is starting to come, and systems that previously were not mission critical is becoming mission critical because they're going to need to move money, move assets around the clock, which means that the industry needs new resiliency and reliability models, and here cloud can help with the innovation but also the flexibility around achieving that. And we're moving from a point where people were considering, should we really do this, to more, how do we do this as smart and efficient as possible. And then, of course, the third one, that is about how do you consume technology as a client, and we see much more of buy and build and the combination of that. And it was a recent study by Value Exchange that concluded that more than 50% of IT spend per year in a sell-side bank goes to just maintaining the legacy. So basically, it is a massive status quo tax on not doing anything. And how can you then achieve, and how should you invest best in order to get out of that? And I think here managed services and basically using partners and vendors to help you to do so, it can be a big differentiator.
So what I'm hearing is there has been a real shift in priorities, and as a result, a different strategy approach as well. So Magnus, you've highlighted some huge changes from digital assets, cloud, artificial intelligence, resilient operating models. There's so much there, there's so much change. So what advice would you end on to those looking to thrive in this landscape?
No, it's a really good point, and it's not easy. I mean, but certainly I think the opportunity with change is not just to replace technology with another technology. You need to view it as a business transformation program or initiative. So it's a lot about mobilizing change across your organization, and that can't be done by a single kind of champion. You need to drive that in your leadership teams. I think that's important. And then also instill a new culture in your organization. So you can't just drive change through a project. That needs to become a continuous kind of part of how you run your business. But I must say, business transformation rather than technology transformation are, I think, the best advice to give.
Some sound advice to end on. Magnus, thank you very much for sharing your insights. Looking forward to reflecting on those further down the line. For now, I'll let you get back out there and share it with the rest of the delegates, but thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. This was a pleasure.